Apparently, Nicolas Cage is an aggressive sweater. Hey, everybody.
Nicolas Cage is the aggressive sweater.
He's an aggressive sweater, kind of like so many of those Christmas sweaters. Very aggressive. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho. Welcome, one and all. We are going back into Middle Earth tonight with part 2 of the Twilight Keep. Here tonight with, once again, my amazing friends playing fantastic little characters. Let us meet them right now. They are all around me. We were discussing Nicolas Cage, as you do. And we discovered that, according to Onduin, Nicolas Cage is an aggressive sweater. So,
well, technically, it wasn't Nicolas Cage. It was Sean Connery from Indiana Jones. Yeah. So in scenes that you can't see him from like the bottom half of him, he's wearing shorts because he couldn't stand wearing the wool pants because he's like, I'm too heavy of a sweater. I can't do it.
It's kind of like DM Dave when we do Heroes of Greyhawk. Below the camera,
no pants.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, who wears pants on a video
no
call?
Pants.
We all learned from Tom Holland.
What?
Tom Holland. He went viral for a photo of him in like a really nice white shirt and tie for a really good interview, but then he was just wearing his boxers. You couldn't tell, so it was a huge thing. I won't go into it.
Work from home life.
Exactly. Work from home. But you know who doesn't work from home? Adventurers in Middle Earth. They travel to places. That's what you're going to be doing today, traveling to places. But before we travel, we need to know who you are. So please, if you don't mind, my friends, tell us a little bit about yourselves and who you are playing here tonight. And we will begin with the man who has re-entered his cubicle, found his niche, returned to his hobbit hole. Ty.
Here I am. Here I am in my neon cave of darkness. Is it? Anyway, I am playing.
There's like a Plato reference in there somewhere.
There is. And I'm sticking to it. Thanks for grabbing that.
No problem.
Senwolf. I am Senwolf, the Ranger of the North. And the guide who can't find things very well. And that's about all you need to know.
I don't think we should hold that against you.
Nope, because Irving's good at finding things I can't see.
Irving's pretty good at that. We'll see what Irving finds tonight.
Ranger of the North, though, I feel like that's such a Game of Thrones thing. I go beyond the wall. I live
of the Warden of the North.
And the
of the North.
Yeah. This is not Game of Thrones.
And it's late August, so we know winter's coming.
Exactly. But it's not Game of Thrones because
that's because that's not what we're doing here.
Because there's no dragons. Yet. So next up, speaking of dragons, we also have the wonderful Erin here with us tonight. And I have no clue what the connection is to dragons, but I'll come up with something at some point.
Oh, it's cool. No, it's cool. I've got it.
You got it? Nice. Go for it.
I got the dragon connection. Yeah. It's nothing personal. I'm just Erin. That's just me. That's just who I am. But Drifa is a dwarf who I'll be playing tonight, who lost the legacy of her people to dragons, at least one of them. So there is that. That's your connection.
There you go. It was there all along.
It was there. Yes.
Thanks so much, Erin, for coming back and playing with us. A lot of fun last time. Look forward to seeing what Drifa gets up to tonight. The woman who knows way more about actors, sweat glands.
I can't help it.
Then we ever thought we would know. I've named Erica. Hey, Erica.
Hi. It is one of my favorite things to know, like all this, like, did you know? I'm Erica Onduin, last name inspired by the River Anduin from Lord of the Rings. I am playing Daywin, who is an elven warden and is sassy friends with Drifa.
Sassy friends.
Who knows what'll come of their relationship, but I enjoy the sass.
We all enjoyed the sass. The sass is why we come back. We return for the sass every week.
There, you said it.
There you go. And speaking of sass, you know those guys. Speaking of sass, the one, the only, Beth Masco. How you doing, Beth?
I am so great. I am very glad to be here playing a sweet little hobbit messenger named Irving Burrows. He's just a little guy who's doing his best. You know, aren't we all? But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next.
As are we all. I'm the GM and I have no clue what's going to happen next. So, you know, it's nice to keep some mystery going. Speaking of mystery, something that is not a mystery is how awesome a lot of the people that help us make these streams possible are. I will first talk about myself, and then I will talk about these wonderful people. I am Bleakseason. You can find me everywhere online at Bleakseason, or just Bleakseason in some places, hanging out here doing some games. My producer tonight, as with every other Thursday night, is the wonderful, the masterful Andy, who's got us in good hands here tonight. Thank you, Andy, for pushing the buttons, pulling the levers. The music you will be hearing tonight is by tabletopaudio.com. Check them out. Tons of great music available for your games, for your streams, for your videos on their website. Most of it is free. A couple of bucks gets you their Patreon, which is absolutely worth it. You get so much more stuff, early versions of cuts. We love it. So tabletopaudio.com for all your musical needs. We are playing Lord of the Rings Role-Playing for 5e, which is a game by Free League. It's a 5e port of their awesome One Ring game. Do check out their games. They make absolutely wonderful stuff. We had a great time playing Dragonbane last weekend with Dave and Little Bones and Shelly and Shiv. We had a great time with that. You can check that out on our VOD on YouTube. Guild Superior if you want. It was a good fun, and I think it's still here on the Twitch. Also, Dragonbane was a lot of fun. If you want to get involved in the game, you want to help out these wonderful, wonderful people, you can buy some advantages. For 100 bits, you can buy the player of your choice an advantage. So if you want to throw down, help them out, please do so. Finally, I would like to give a shout out to both our friend Mark at Solution, as well as Animated Dungeon Maps. I'll be using some of their maps tonight. Their links are in the thing next to me here. Do check them out. Their Patreons are worth it. Unfortunately, Mark from Solution Maps announced this week that he is no longer going to be making fantasy maps to focus on his science fiction maps, which hurt me deeply, but dude's got to do what dude's got to do. His work is absolutely fantastic. So do check it out. If you're in need of maps, you'll see some of them here tonight. And when all of that said and done, y'all ready to party like it's 2023?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
With a lemon twist of depression.
That's what makes it 2023.
That's right. It wouldn't be 2023 otherwise. All right, then, let us throw in a little recap first. Last week, the lot of you, the story began with Irving, Beth's wonderful little messenger hobbit, making a delivery in Bree and then being asked to do an emergency delivery up north to a town called Norvost, where the Rangers of the North are currently gathered as they try to reconquer the lands around Fornos Terrain, their ancestral home from the bandits and the thugs that have moved into that place. Irving quickly gathered his good friends, the dwarf treasure hunter Drifa, and the elven warden Daywin, to help out with this particular quest. And since they were going up into some territory they had never been to before, Barnabas, the owner of, and last week I think I kept saying the Green Dragon, but it is the Prancing Pony and it is the Green Dragon beer. So I mixed those two. So got a lot of angry letters from, Tolkien fans. No, I didn't get a single letter.
What kind of state is mean?
I know. But you can write me letters. Go ahead, write me letters. It's okay, I like letters. From the Prancing Pony, Barnabas hooked the group up with one of those strange and mysterious rangers from the north, Senwolf, who was returning towards Norvost, and who guided them by not being able to guide them and letting Irving do the job, as Irving found this incredible shortcut that nobody else knew about, getting them to Norvost in record time. Once they arrived in Norvost, they delivered the letter, which was not without some toil and trouble for Irving, who was told that Unfortunately, the recipient of this letter was a very disagreeable individual and tended to get angry at the messenger. So I think Irving was perhaps a little bit nervous for a little while. While being in Norvost, they met Elenthyl, the leader of the Rangers of the North, as well as another elf warden, who basically was looking for a. I think I mixed up the names again.
We met what you knew.
You met what I knew.
Mhm.
Elenthyr was the man that she was looking for. Arianthe was looking for Elenthyr, and what's the name of the ranger? Talendil. That's right. Talendil and Elenthyr. The names are too similar. One I came up with. I didn't come up with either of those. Rachel came up with Elenthyr. All right. Recapping the recap. You met the leader of the Rangers, Talendil, who introduced you to this elf warden named Arianthe, who is looking for a man from Bree named Elenthyr, who is associated with a group called the Headless Cross, and who has some dealings, some connection to some ancient, long-dead necromancer named Thazenkel that Arianthe's sort of, investigating and trying to find information about. She was willing to hire you, the lot of you, to accompany her to this tower of Cadradok, which is a tower where during the attacks by the Witch King of Angmar, a group of dwarves fought valiantly against the forces of the Witch King of Angmar, but were eventually defeated when the Witch King of Angmar sent one of his greatest soldiers, the bear shapeshifter undead Wenloth Elf Eater. In order to defeat Wenloth, the captain of the Dwarven Company ordered that the tower be brought down on top of everybody, burying everyone, just to make sure Wenloth would not escape. You arrived at the ruins of Cadradok to find Elenthyr there. However, he told you a story that was not quite what you expected, that he himself had been at some point a member sort of adjacent to the Headless Cross, but now he was trying to recover this item called the Twilight Keep, which he informed you was a item that was used to store the soul of the necromancer, Thazenkel, and that he believes that they are currently attempting to take the soul and place it into the body, perhaps, of Wenloth, which would be for a very bad thing. So altogether, you have decided to go into the basement, or the lower levels of the Keep of Cadradok, in order to perhaps prevent this from happening. I should write. Dave does this amazing job of writing these recaps, and then he just reads them, and they're like really like vibrant and fun. And I kind of just wing them, and maybe I should write them down. If only so I could get the names correctly. But here we are. We have arrived. We are at the Tower of Cadradok. My friends, you find yourselves entering, heading towards the lower level of this keep. Now, the keep itself is, as I was mentioning earlier, a good chunk of it sort of fell down, but it wasn't just a tower. There was a tower and a bit of a keep. So you're entering and going underneath the keep itself, not underneath the tower. The tower has mostly kind of been brought down, and a lot of it has sunken down to one level. So as you go down, you enter into this little door that's been created on the side, and you first go through a little bit of a tunnel until eventually this tunnel kind of breaks out into a set of circular stairs, stone stairs that lead down. It's pretty clear that people have been through here. You can see mud tracks everywhere, and you can see the remains of like a torch or something like that. So it's pretty clear that another group of people has come down here. Now, you are with Elenthyr, who you probably don't trust too much, and Arianthe, who is keeping a pretty close eye on Elenthyr. If you wish to turn, please, to Owlbear Rodeo, Owlbear 2, I have put up a little map. You eventually arrive down into the basement, what was at some point the basement of this keep. You pile out through that door up here, and as you do see lights and hear voices. So before going too far and sort of YOLOing into it, you all kind of pile up in a corner, and someone, I don't know, Senwolf perhaps, or Irving would peek around the corner. And this is the scene that you see in front of you. This tower is very ancient. The foundation of this tower are very ancient. A lot of it has crumbled down, and sort of just through time, the stone itself has fallen apart and started to crumble. There are rats sort of scurrying everywhere. And you see at the other end of this room, you see two figures who look like this. And are guarding what appears to be a hole in the wall that was recently made, as you can still see the tools there, and that they basically broke through. So what you can kind of gather is they broke into the keep and now have broken down into another part of it that was not accessible because of the fact that the tower had sort of come down on top. You see two of these guards. They are kind of half-assed, I would say, on guard, where they don't seem to really be expecting trouble. They'll glance back towards your way once in a while, but they also seem to be paying attention to what's going on behind. And you can hear strange noises and voices and sounds coming from further down the hall behind them, where that hole is in the wall. So you know that there's sort of something else going on back there. You are fairly safe where you're standing right now, unless you do something excessive as far as noise or light. They're not going to really know you're there, so you have a couple of moments here to sort of plan your approach. I will say that the map looks pretty lit up, simply so that we can see, things, but it is in fact quite dark in here. So there is opportunity to move forward, move ahead, while keeping to some of the shadows, at least some distance. It is possible that you could cross the hall without being seen. It's not as, brightly lit and easy to see as we see there. So we have a few moments here to sort of decide how you want to approach this.
So I think we should just simply all take a vote. Who says we should go in swords blazing, and who thinks we should be sneaky?
I think maybe sneaky is best. We don't know if they have others that they'll alert. So maybe, just a thought.
Aye, master.
Sneaky works for me, but we can't let these certainly can't let these knaves continue to mess with and destroy orc or dwarf property.
They could destroy all property all they want, for sure. Senwolf?
Not for much longer.
I have my bow, and so I shall keep to the back and watch from a distance, but I am ready. I am ready to fire.
We are ready.
Ariante will still say the same. Will say that she preferred to stay up here at the bow, and so whoever feels like crawling forward can, and then once you engage, then
I'm going to move up a little.
And Alantir says, I'm not terrible in a stand-up fight, but I'm not really much for sneaking, so I'll wait till the party starts before I join in.
I could stick to the shadows and pop out at the last second. I could probably get almost all the way up to them.
Okay.
Well, we could do that, but also I could walk up and just be a lowly lost elf, and you all come up from behind, all sneaky like, maybe assassination style.
Alantir will say, they are thugs, but they are still fairly experienced warriors. If they're not expecting anyone else, you're more likely to just get shot as you walk up than them to wonder who you are. They'll just shoot you and sort it out later.
All right.
Well, we've got
Sneak
the
it
bows.
is.
We've got the bows. Let's take them down before they have a chance to notice anything.
All right, let's get into position, I say.
And Wolf already
If you're
wandered
going to
off in the
move there,
darkness.
sorry, Senwolf, go for it.
I already wandered off.
Yeah, go
To the
ahead and give
darkness.
me a stealth check with advantage, please.
I will do
Which
that
die
as
do I
well.
use? With
The one you
advantage?
didn't
Okay.
use last time.
Use a d20.
That one has left this plane.
Efficiency.
You can do it with
Ooh,
advantage.
oh, natural 20.
Oh, awesome.
Ooh,
I got a 19 and a 20.
nice.
You're like, where did Senwolf go?
And I got a dirty 20.
Very nice.
All right. As for you, Irving,
I got 18.
okay. And Drifa, I saw you rolled an 18 there.
19 for a total of 24.
All right, so you can get to where y'all are getting positioned. Arianthi will just sort of stand in the back there with her bow. They seem to be very preoccupied what's going on behind them, so you can get up to there. Does anyone want to try and get up even closer now?
Well, or just kind of come around the corner to right about there.
If you're gonna pass this point,
Okay.
you make a stealth check without advantage, just a straight up stealth check.
13.
At this point, they have their light there.
How does a 13 sound good? Sounds
Okay.
good. I pass.
Anybody else moving? They don't seem to
Yeah.
react.
My
I
aim is
move up a little.
trained.
I move up past Sunwolf a little bit. So
Right,
it's a
you
little-
can roll with advantage again back there.
Is any of the stuff kind of above me climbable?
Accessible, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to. Ideally, I'd like to hop up and just sort of keep stealthing my way until I'm like, flush with them.
You have proficiency in athletics
I sure don't.
or acrobatics for that matter.
Nope. I'm just a mailman.
No,
Sure? Are you sure you don't have a
you're a
bonus?
master mailman.
Are you sure? So I gave someone an item that gave proficiency in acrobatics.
Oh,
or
that's
athletics.
me.
That's
That
it.
is me now. Yes.
So you do.
Sorry. My goodness. Yes, I'm very proficient in
All
acrobatics.
right, so then you don't have to roll. It's easy enough if you're proficient to get up there. So
Okay.
you managed to get up there. So give me a stealth roll without advantage at this point.
Sure. Ooh, 19 plus 6 for a total of
Excellent.
25.
So you can place yourself wherever you want. You could go all the way up to, anywhere here if you want. So as you climb up there, you're kind of perched about 2 floors up from where they are.
Ooh,
your
okay.
your feet are kind of kicking a little bit of dust and rocks that have kind of gathered and on top of this wall, but they really don't seem to realize as they keep. Something seems to be happening now. They're both really kind of stretching their necks and trying to see sort of what's going on. So you know that you haven't been spotted, and you kind of climb all the way to the edge there, and you got a nice little look down on top of them. I will say this then. Let us roll initiative, and then you will all get to go once before we go into actual initiative, since you will be surprising the gelato out of them. Let's add some people to the initiative track. I'll ask you in a second what your initiative is. All right. Drifa.
Oh wait, what is my initiative? I got a 7.
Irving.
12.
Nice. And Daywin
11.
and Senwolf.
3.
Strong
Okay.
start. Strong start.
16. Volunteer's not going to do anything right now. Thug, 1. Thugs will go at, 19. But you get the drop on them. So we'll go still in the order of initiative as I ask you, but since you're getting the drop on them, if someone wants to move first, you can, but it's not going to really matter as all of these things are kind of going to happen at the same time. So Irving would be the first to go in this surprise round. What would Irving like to do?
Okay. That's a good question. So he'll try to get down from where he is, like sort of behind, like in this area, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know what amount of movement that'll take, but that.
Well, I have no problems with letting you get all the way down. However, since you are trying to not get spotted, I will ask you for both an athletics roll this time and a stealth check. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Daywin,
Yes.
with Dreef on deck, what would Daywin like to do?
So Daywin has deadly archery. So first I'm gonna just do an average hit. Let me get back to my pointer on this here shenanigan.
This fellow?
Yes, that fellow. And that's an 18 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Sick. And then 1d8 plus 3. Get a d8. The 5, so 8 damage.
All right.
And then the second part of that is, as a bonus action, you can give yourself advantage on your next ranged weapon attack roll on the current turn. This bonus action can be used if you haven't moved, so I'm not going to use, so that'll give me advantage on my next attack.
Okay. Awesome. What did you get, Irving?
That was a 12 on the athletics check and a 15 on the stealth check.
Okay, so it's a little hairy. As you come down, at some point you kind of slip and
Just like my feet.
Exactly. You kind of slip a little bit, but you manage to catch yourself, and you're pretty sure they would have heard you. And you look over your shoulder just in time to see Daywin's arrows start plunking into the guy. So you figure, you're probably safe. Next up will be Dreefa.
Question: if I make an attack from here, is it with advantage?
If you make an attack from here,
Like, loose an arrow.
not unless you have. There's an actual town that gives you an advantage.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
If you're attacking someone that hasn't moved yet in the round. Ambusher, it's
Yeah.
called. So I don't know if you have that.
I don't. I do have some other options though. We will try this first because it's not limited. I'm going to spend a bonus action to identify the weak spot on this guy.
On number one,
Does it
excellent.
highlight? Head
Yep.
across, yeah. And then we'll throw that. That is a perception check.
Okay.
And if I succeed, then I get advantage. So
Awesome.
that's going to be
Nice.
21.
Yep. Totally. You
Nice.
can see that the armor they're wearing is sort of like it's got straps that come on, but it comes kind of low and it's not really well protected here. So and
Perfect.
he's always kind of craning his neck and turning around, kind of exposing it. So you get a good shot at that.
And then it's not advantage, actually, just to clarify. It's I got to use my sneak attack without
Okay.
advantage.
Okay.
So anyway, I send that arrow off. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
That hits.
Perfect.
That was 11
And
damage
hold
first
on.
time, right?
Oops. So I have to use this digital roller. Give me 1 second here. Why? Okay, there it goes. 5, 9 plus 3, 12 points of damage from the
Tell me
shadows.
how you fell this headless cross thug.
Yeah, so almost how my turn, exactly how my turn played itself out naturally. Yeah, I draw back the arrows. I'm peering from the shadows, looking at the looking for that weak spot, and upon finding it, I crouched even a little lower and loose, and the arrow comes actually up a little bit an angle, piercing right through that weak spot and into the heart, and they drop instantly.
As he was turning from the shot that he took from Onduin, and it exposed that side, and you saw it.
Yeah.
So the two of you working together. Shot to
Like
the
old
heart.
times.
And
I thought that
yours
too.
to blame. Excellent. This one falls down quite dead. His partner's like, Tommy, you okay? And Senwolf is up next.
Yes, and I've been training on the other one the whole time. I'm going to use inspiration on this one, and I'm going to say, under my breath, for the Rangers of the North.
Hmm.
Oh.
That is a 16 to hit
That hits.
and 5 damage.
Okay. He recoils from the blow. Next up will be Arianti, who will also take a shot. And a bit more damage. All right. All right, so this one appears to be bloodied as he reels from a couple of arrow shots. We will now go into the regular initiative round and back up to him as he begins first. And he will kind of, having taken 2 arrows, he kind of reels back a little bit and then looks away and looks up and starts seeing the lot of you kind of moving through the shadows. And he's going to try to skedaddle by running on up here and try to climber through that and roll a 1. Roll a 1 on his athletics check. So as he climbs up there, and an arrow probably kind of catches somewhere and pushes deep. It's like, ah! He lets go of a scream, and then he falls down, hits himself on the side ladder, and falls down on the ground, prone in front of this ladder. He's like, ah!
He's about to take more arrows than Boromir.
Ooh, too early,
Brutal.
too early. Too soon. Irving.
Okay. So, coming out of the shadows is Irving wielding a dagger in his offhand and his short sword in the other. And he's got just enough movement to...
Yeah, don't worry about movement. You can move wherever you want.
Okay, to come right on up and let me know if this is correct. So with this special dagger, it says, well, okay, if making a bonus attack with the knife and in a position to sneak attack, you can use sneak attack a second time with your offhand attack. I don't know if I even get an offhand attack.
Yeah, so if you have the two weapons,
Okay.
you can get the attack with it. So usually when you have sneak attack, it only applies to the first attack that you do.
Right.
But in this case, with this knife, if you are in a position to get a sneak attack, then you get to do one with the offhand also.
Okay. Would I be able to sneak attack him?
Absolutely, he's on the ground, prone,
Yeah.
doesn't know
Okay.
you're there. You were stealthing. You
That's
can
great.
just savagely finish off this wounded man writhing on the ground in pain.
Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound as appealing. That is a 13 to hit.
Being that he's on the ground and prone, doesn't have his dex bonus, so that hits.
Okay. So that'll be...
Remember to add your sneak attack bonus.
Yeah. Okay, so that's... And that's 10 points of damage
Nice.
with my sword.
You get a pretty good sword. It's,
It's a dagger.
And then with my
Letter opener.
my tiny little dagger, I'll go in for my bonus strike, and that is a 17. To
oh,
hit.
that hits. That hits.
Okay, that's the 7 additional points. of
And now, what do
damage.
your friends see as you finish off this ground-bound thug?
what you see is something that might surprise you, which is that the fluidity with which Irving dispatches this thug is actually rather impressive. I don't think any of you would have seen him fight at all, really, up to this point. So it just happens really quickly. And he just sort of stands there and wipes off the blood from his weapons and just sort of waits.
Master Irving, as like Daywin kind of like stands up real tall coming out of the shadows. You've killed before, haven't you?
Only when I have to.
Oh, this is good to know. I was very impressed.
Thank you.
Quite impressed, I would say. That was skillfully done.
Oh, I mean, you sort of started him off with the, arrows and everything. So it was a team effort.
Sure.
Right.
We'll go with that.
Just in keeping with your kind.
Certainly are a effective group. Let's hope that we remain as lucky being able to catch him unawares as we were in this particular instance, says Ariel.
It was 2, unfortunately, but Sinwolf will kneel down and check them for markings, and also for coin, because I'm collecting the coin they owe the Rangers in a separate pouch.
All right.
And David's gonna look over at Drifa. That's 1 for you. Still 0 for me. So you're ahead by 1. Not that
Well,
I'm
I'll
keeping
take it.
track or count. Just as an FYI.
Well then, good luck catching up.
So, Ty, you will find a total of 10 gold on one and another 11 on the other one, and they both have short swords and bows, if anyone's interested in any of that. On their cheeks, you do see that they have this same symbol of this upside down cross with 3 dots around it that you saw upstairs and marking the doorway, the symbol of the Headless cross.
I want to just kind of peer really at the stuff that they have to see if it is worth anything.
It's very run of the mill.
Okay.
I mean, you could get a couple coins for it for sure somewhere, like at a blacksmith or something, but none of it's,
Okay. She'll kind of just kick it to the side as if it's interrupting her path.
I am taking extra arrows.
Okay. They are wearing masks, but when you check them out, they are humans, the 2 of them. Not at all Rangers of the North or anything like that, just sort of very regular kind of humans. You hear noise. You hear like pickaxes working and people talking coming from the other side of the wall. Does anyone want to take a look? How do you want to proceed?
Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes.
Sinwolf is, sorry, real quick, Sinwolf's going to stash the bow and draw the axe.
Okay.
Damon's gonna kind of follow suit, put her bow to the side and have one of her daggers out. Just hidden kind of close to her chest. To listen in on this. Should I roll a stealth first to see if I stay hidden and then...
They're not really going to be able to see you, so for what's going there, so you don't have to worry about that too much. But I will say as you climb up, maybe give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Wait, where's perception? There it is. 19, 18, 19, 22.
As you peer up over the broken wall, you see a bit of a long tunnel. Down at the other end, you see this giant statue of what appears to be a dwarven knight carved straight out of the rock. There are fires burning where the eyes would be under the helmet, and below that, there's scaffolding and ladders and whatnot. And below that, in the ground, you can see a group of men that look like the one that you just fought, who are busy digging something out of the ground with some pickaxes and moving some stone and dirt. And what that looks like is this.
6, 8, 9. Okay. Damon will relay the information, and then she'll kind of throw a sassy comment at Drifa. There's even a dwarf statue of fire coming out of its eyes, just like the look that I see from you sometimes.
That's just the look of a great dwarven warrior.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I was getting at. Well, now that we know what's ahead of us, maybe we should just stroll in. Say, hey, what's up?
The brigands?
How many are you seeing there for sure?
There are 10 that I can see. One leader.
Well, I'm going to
9
go ahead and
bucks.
say that I wasn't very careful, and I should have blacked this out. You wouldn't be able to
Oops.
see there because of your angle,
Okay.
but you would
2,
see
4,
light,
6,
that there's light
Okay.
up here. So you can definitely see these guys. These ones are up on some of the scaffolding.
Okay.
And then there's the
Well.
ones here working on the ground.
I see 4 ground warriors and 3 with advantage up on some scaffolding. So there's 7 I can see, but there could be more. I don't see a leader of any kind, so they could be hidden.
Do you pile on through then and into the room?
If
What's
we're going to do that, I'm going to rush in. I'm going to charge.
First, I actually have an idea. Elantia, did you leave on bad terms by chance?
Well, I didn't leave originally on bad terms, but they may be aware that I tried to hide the item they wanted from them. When Bane came to get it, I told him I didn't have it, I needed to get it. Turned out he had already found a way to get it, and he was just... In any case, they may or may not be aware. We could try. I could try, but they're going to be surprised to see me here. There'd be no reason for me to be here.
At least it would be a distraction.
I have an
from
idea.
Us.
He turns around, goes back to the guys that you've killed, and he starts pulling up some of their... So he pulls up the mask, and he pulls up the cloak. You know, just the stuff that's kind of really visible.
Oh.
And so I'll just pretend to be one of these guys. I'll come by and tell him that, see if they need help or something.
One of them did shout Tommy, so you could be Tommy.
Oh. Tommy's
Just in
dead.
case they ask for a name. Tommy's dead. Long gone.
He will quickly sort of transform himself a little bit. And with you now, you will have... All right. So I go there, I get their attention, and then what's going to happen? What will a lot of you do?
Find out when we get there? I mean, I think it depends on how Orion will go. Try and get as much information as you can, and we'll stick to the shadows, and let's say we just go by reaction.
Okay.
I'm switching back to my bow.
Same.
He's gonna climb in. Anyone who's going to climb through the hole after him and try to go get and position themselves, give me a stealth roll.
Is there any height advantage on the side of the room that we're at that I could possibly...
To get height advantage, you would really have to go... You see like a bit of a higher level there. So technically you could probably climb up here, but it might not be the best view.
Probably a disadvantage too.
Yeah, so we'd have to sort of be up here or make your way up there. Up there is a pretty good kill zone. Up here also, obviously.
Okay. What about right here? There seems to be like a little... Oh, I realized my color on the thing is black and it's blending right in. Let me fix that. There we go. How about right up here?
Yeah, you could, but to get there, if we
Yeah.
look at the map, there's a wall
Yeah,
here, so you're not gonna be able to go this way. You're
I would
gonna
have
go
to walk
around there.
around.
So I'll let you do it, but you'll
I'll
have
give
to
it a try.
make a stealth roll at disadvantage
So
because
disadvantage, okay.
there's dudes on the scaffolding right across, right? Which maybe you have magical successes.
Darn, that was a nat 20 and then a 14.
Okay.
But do you want me to just do a straight one, or do you want me to add any of my modifiers?
No, so you take the 14 and add your modifiers to it.
So a 14 and then a 4, 8. Oh my gosh. 22?
All right. That's pretty good. You will manage to get there without too much trouble.
Well, and I'll just tuck into the shadows, hood over my head, hiding.
Okay. And what about the rest of you? Is anybody else moving in?
I am, and I got an 19.
No problem. So you can go pretty much anywhere you want in this area and not get spotted. Okay.
Okay.
Like you have to stay in the shadows out here, but you can move up to there if you want to.
I'm trying to join the party with a 14.
Okay. 14's a little lower, but it's an 8. All right. You are coming around. I will tell you that with the 14, as you kind of step around, you see one of the guards up on the scaffolding is about to turn and look kind of straight at where you are. Do you have anything that you can...
Can I throw out like a... So I've got a cunning action as a bonus action, and I know that's... So the theory here is applying that logic. Can I, at the speed equivalent to a bonus action, hide behind this, like, behind this wall right here?
Absolutely. Totally.
Cool. Perfect.
You realize he's about to just and you kind of duck in.
Sweet.
Absolutely no problem. Irving.
So I rolled a 24 for my stealth check. And since everybody's going that way, I think I'm gonna try to come this way. How far forward can I get where I'm still in the shadows?
So you can get pretty much anywhere like in this zone. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll
You want to move
I'll stay
further than
here
that, you have
then.
to do a disadvantage, roll at disadvantage.
I did so well. Oh, okay, I'll
Now you
I'll stay there.
could climb up there and come through here and surprise her.
Oh. Okay, yes. I didn't see that was a thing. Then
Yeah, it's a bit
that
dark on
is
the map.
Great. Okay, so I'll get to. Would I still be kind of like out of sight here?
Yeah, you'll be fine. So
Okay.
did you do a stealth roll?
The 24 that I got.
Okay,
Do
awesome.
you want me to do another?
Get up, no, perfectly fine. You
Okay.
get up there, again, your athletics with the proficiency, you climb up there without too much problem. You climb there. When you get there, you do see there's a couple more guards up there. And you also see this person.
Ooh. Angry.
Oh my. Look at that sword.
I was too zoomed in, didn't see the sword, and I was like, what?
There's a woman there who is rifling through some papers and, pointing at some stuff, and she's like, we have to get all the bones out. We can't start until we have everything. We have to make sure everything's accounted for. Give me a perception check, my friend.
21.
21. You see at this person's belt an item. that looks like a box of some sort with these little sort of glass movable parts on top. And when the way it is now with all the black glass pieces kind of closed in, it looks kind of like a tower. But you can tell that there's like all sorts of runes on this thing, and that these little parts kind of open up into different configurations and probably reveal something sort of inside. And it's attached to this leader's belt right now. When you look upon it, a feeling of shadow and dread seeps into you, and you feel this dark, shadowy hand just kind of reach in and try to find your heart. Now, I know you get advantage, right, on saving throws as a hobbit against shadow. So make a charisma saving throw with advantage.
Oh, I love the sound of the
Okay.
dice. Oh,
That is a dirty 20.
Okay. So with that success, you are going to get just 1 point of shadow instead of 3. Now, your patron, Arianthi, does give you the opportunity, if you want, to spend a fellowship point and reduce the amount of shadow you get by 1. So you can do that if everyone agrees, or you can save it. It's up to you.
and we have 6 points. How many would that put you at?
3.
I agree with you taking 1.
I mean, I'm fine, guys.
That's a little shadow amongst friends.
What's a little shadow whispers?
I'm cool with you
I mean,
taking one as well if you want to.
Right. If you want it, you can take it. But if you don't, if you think you're
Mhm.
fine,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Mitigate it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. Just, you know. Thank
Okay,
you,
fine.
everyone.
You've talked me into saving my own neck.
Yes.
All right,
Let's
so this is
see.
down here.
It's creepy. It's got teeth.
Not a fan.
Okay, so you move and you get up there and you're set up. Arianthi will just sort of hide up there. When everyone's set up into position, Alantir is going to come strolling in. Hell of a job you guys are doing. You need any help? I think Tommy's good alone back there. Just really nothing going on. Just a bunch of rats scurrying around. I can give you a hand here if you need. And this guy's like, well, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but we seem to be getting it. And as he approaches, you see Alantir kind of slow down as he kind of sees what they're doing. And then someone from up here kind of comes up to the edge and we all down. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be guarding the front door. Get back to your post. I just figured I'd come and check if you needed help. We're doing fine. You have a job to do. Go and do it. Does anyone want to do anything at this point, or?
Nope.
Like, all right. What is that thing? And he kind of pretends to sort of ignore, and he kind of keeps moving forward. The other guy that's downstairs, like, yeah, it's kind of freaky. Did you see how big this thing was? Yeah, it's really. Then the one upstairs is like, I told you, get back to your post. What are you doing? And Irving, you notice that now the leader here has kind of taken notice that there's sort of something going on, and she starts walking over. She's like, the hell's going on down there? And the guy upstairs, you hear Irving says, I don't know. It looks like it's Dale. He's left his post at the door. She leans over and she goes, Dale, what are you doing? You have a job to do. Now either you go back and you do it, or you're going to be proving yourself totally useless. And if we don't need you, you know what happens. He's like, hey. Look, I've never seen anything like this before. Like, go back to your post. All right. That's really freaky. And he starts leaving back. And as he leaves, he kind of looks at you, Drift, and he's like, get back to work, everyone. Get every bone out of there. We need all of it intact. As she yells this, the guys are continuing to sort of pickaxe. And one of them, you hear him go, oh, what the hell is this? And those of you who have kind of higher spots and whatnot will start seeing the bones are kind of shivering. Those of you who can look down and see into the area where they're digging see a skeleton that is about twice as long, as tall as any man you've ever met would be. Clearly some sort of gigantic figure. The skull itself, the jaw is kind of distended and it's got fangs in it. And as they kind of back up, the bones are starting to shiver, and you feel this sort of dark mist that starts to form over this grave that they're sort of digging. And there's this dark purple color to it as it starts to swirl. And they go, back it up. What's going on? What is this? And they kind of back away from it a little bit. You guys can interrupt me anytime you want, by the way.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
From my perspective, can I see if somebody is causing this to happen, or is it doing this on its own?
It looks like it's doing it on its own, to be honest. And the leader's like, "Oh, quickly! We don't have any time to lose. Let's get this thing done." And she runs over here and she jumps over here and runs down the stairs. And the other two guys, there's like ropes there, and they start going down. This one's moving to go down also. This one's going down the rope. She's rushing down. As she's rushing down, she's pulling this thing that she has on her belt and is flicking some of the panels open and whatnot.
Can I get a shot off on her before she leaves?
Yep. So
excellent.
Let's do it. Let's roll initiative, and then you'll get your shot, and then we'll be in initiative.
I rolled 11 again.
Hold on. Just hold it for a second. Just going to roll for the baddies. All right. Irving?
I rolled a 19 for a total of 21.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Driffa?
14.
Sunwolf?
2.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
They win.
Bro.
They win?
11. I don't have anything to add to it.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and take your shot that you wanted to take.
Okay.
Run first.
And my weapon is the Sky Piercer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. That is a 15 to hit.
15 misses as your arrow hits her armor and breaks as it kind of bounces off, and she looks up and she goes, "Intruders!"
No.
And
That works.
the gig is up. Up first then will be Irving. There's still a guy up on the platform who's about to sort of go down. He's kind of stopped and he's looking as someone yelled intruder. What would you like to do, Irving?
Muted.
I would like to kill him.
Well, Irving is like,
I'll-
Bloodthirsty Hobbit.
yeah.
Dang.
Don't worry,
alright.
guys. It's gonna be fine. He'll sneak up behind and go again with his sword and his dagger.
Okay.
So
Do that thing you do.
woof. That is
You
an
see it.
8 with my sword.
Do you have any advantages?
Yeah, I was going to say that you can attack with advantage because he doesn't know you're there.
That's much better. That's 19.
Okay, so that first attack will hit.
Okay. And 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And I'll come right in with my dagger.
Damn it.
Um,
My dice just fell. 12 points, you said?
yes.
Pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Wait, no, 9.
9 points, okay.
So I
Oh,
said-
still pretty good.
That's still bloodthirsty.
Yep.
Yeah.
I respect it.
And then Then I got a 17 for the attack with my dagger.
That hits.
Okay, and that is 12 points of damage with
So how do you kill this
the
feller?
dagger. Swiftly. I go in and I just sort of shake him from behind with the sword, and then as I get close, I take the dagger and I sort of just stab it into, like, his side, and
Bloodthirsty.
drop him. I kind of like pull him back so that he doesn't,
So he doesn't
fall
fall.
over
Well,
and
all
try-
right. He's pretty big. Give me a strength check if you want to prevent him from toppling over forward. He's pretty big.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm so strong, so strong. A 14.
All right. So I'll say that you can't pull him back, but you kind of, as you stab him, you hit his knees and they buckle, so you can drop him down straight
That's
on the
fine.
ground instead of him falling.
It's the
forward.
best I could hope for.
And then you kind of skedaddle just not to get, it's like a tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
and that'll be my turn.
All right, Drifa.
Okay, so bow in my left hand, I draw my short sword with my right and rush out of the shadow actually to this guy,
Okay.
shouting, Baruch Kazad! The dwarves are upon you. And I'm actually, as I make this run up on this guy, I'm gonna do a perception check to see if I can spot that weak spot.
Okay, go for it.
And that is gonna be a 22.
Yeah, that's good. You spot it.
Bam, there it is. And across goes the short sword, but no, it is only eight to hit.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You see the weak spot and you kind of aim for it, but at the last second he kind of turns as he's surprised to see you, and you just get the armor and it bounces off. Very good. They get to go now. So the one in front of Drifa will draw his sword. Short sword also, make an attack. Ooh, natural 20. Fortunately.
No, thank you.
Mhm.
So that's 11, 12 points, Drifa, your sword just kind of bounces off his thing, and then he sees an opening and just rams that sucker right in, and you feel it digging into your ribs. And
That's
you're
it.
not very happy about it.
Jesus.
This one will rush forward. Also, this one will go up there. She will move in.
Oh shoot! I didn't calculate my hit points. I'm immune to everything.
Immune to everything. You get max hit points.
Including joy.
Yes. Drifa, you're being swarmed, very unfortunately. This one will miss, however. The next one with a 17, so that'll be 20, dirty 20 will likely hit. That'll be another 4 points of damage. Drifa, the ones up there are going to take shots at Daywin. This one will miss. This one will miss also, as arrows are kind of falling all around you, Daywin. The captain or the leader moves forward and she draws this longsword from her back, and as she does, this dark purple flame erupts along the blade and illuminates the area where you are in this sort of darkly shadowy purple light as she advances. The others can't get at you because their friends are kind of in the way. And then it will be Arianthi who will take a shot at one of the guys with a 3 miss. And then the cult leader who can't do much right now. And then Sunwolf. Chilling.
All right.
The back,
Yes.
the villain. Oh, Daywin, I know you shot and missed, right, Daywin?
Yes.
Or did I go over? Okay.
I really just wanted to get her attention. It's fine that I didn't hit her.
Sunwolf, you're seeing Drifa getting just swarmed by
Yeah.
all these fellers.
I'm also seeing that glowing sword. So I'm going to take a shot at the sword wielder,
Okay.
the Susan Powder looking person,
Okay.
with my bow. Oh my god.
Seriously?
Oh man, yeah.
No.
As you
That's
miss the
natural
shot,
one.
as you miss the shot, and she kind of looks up and sees you. As the round ends, you see this mist that is kind of roiling over this grave. Starts to coalesce, and you can see the item on her belt is shaking and vibrating, sort of as if in response to it. And you can see this mist kind of, the ground itself is starting to shake, and bits and pieces from the ceiling and from the walls, little bits of dust and little bits of stone are starting to crumble down as the ground is starting to shake all around you. As this mist is starting to spread, I don't really have a mist thing, so you'll just have to imagine it in your minds. I have this. There we go. We are back up to Irving.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
We're back up to Irving.
Okay. How high up is this platform that I'm on?
Hold on. Let me just Erica, it's D10 per level, I think, for Warden. So it's 10. I'm giving you guys max hit points. So it's 10. It's 40 plus your Constitution bonus at each level. You are about 15 feet up, maybe.
Okay. I am going to launch myself off of the platform and come down first with my dagger, sword in my other hand, on top of this guy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to get him like right in the shoulder neck region with my dagger.
So I'm going to say you can't get a bonus attack. Playing yourself
Okay.
is going to be because you're going to have to make an athletics roll to not kill yourself. Doing so,
Yes,
that's going to be your
that's-
bonus action, and
Sure.
then you can make an attack. But however, your knife gives you the
Yeah.
ability to get a bonus if you don't use it right. So
Yeah, so I'll I'll make the athletics check. That's a 13, which is, you tell me how badly it hurts me.
well, I'll
But
say this.
I'll
tell you this. You can either choose to take a D4 of damage, or
Mhm.
to not be able to get your advantage on the attack.
not take the advantage. That's fine.
Okay.
But I'll just come down just with the dagger. Then that'll
Okay.
be my full
Go for it.
full dealio. And hell yeah, these dice are really great. It's a 15 plus 20 total.
That hits.
And then I don't get sneak attack with this then, right?
No. Actually, I'm going to say yes because he has no clue you're coming.
Okay. 4, 8, 9 total points of damage.
Pretty nice. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. He's totally surprised as you come down and stabbity stab. Like, what the? They're throwing hobbits at us.
I threw myself.
I almost spit out my raspberry.
I'm a self-thrown hobbit. Drifa, you are swarmed now. Elantir has kind of stepped up and taken some pressure off of you by engaging this one guy here. You're realizing it's kind of difficult to tell Elantir from the other ones at this point, but you got two definitely on you. You got one that Irving has just sort of jumped on, and you do have the leader and another one up there. So what would you like to do? And of course, there's the arrow dudes up there. What would you like to do, Drifa?
So that box is attached to the leader's hip, right?
Yeah.
By chain, string, is it easy to tell?
It looks like she's got like some sort of leather straps, like that might maybe normally have held, you know, a drinking horn or something, and that she's wrapped around the item.
Okay. Let's try this. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna spend. We're gonna use my cunning action, bonus action to disengage.
Okay.
I'm going to duck them both underneath. Like
Right. So normally you
them.
can't pass through areas occupied by the enemy. All right.
Yeah, I have to do a thing, huh?
Yeah.
Can I go? Is there room around?
So you could go around for sure. Around on that, so you can't go through them. So I'll say you can go around. You're using your action to disengage, so that's cool. You're not going to get an attack of opportunity from them.
So here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to disengage from them, slip them around this way, maybe scoop between these two here, and on the way, I want to sleight of hand that box off her hip.
Okay, so I will say that if you slow down to try and sleight of hand it, I'll totally let you do it, no penalties on the roll, but those two are going to take attacks of opportunities on you as you're running, or have the opportunity to take attack of opportunities on you as you're kind of coming in right in the middle of them. And now the other one seems to kind of be focused on Senwolf, so it's a good possibility that the one on top might not attack you, but the leader sees you coming.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see who's faster. So I'm going to slip in, pause for just a moment to twist and try to snatch this little book.
Okay.
I'll make the roll here. Hold on. I have a thing. I would like to spend one of my 2 magical successes with sleight of hand things to make this a magical success.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. That
Awesome.
works, right? Cool.
That totally works. So she's going to take an attack of opportunity on you as your fingers close around it, and then we'll see what happens when you grab the thing.
Cool.
She's hitting 23.
That'll do it.
There go
All
your
right.
fingers.
I like those fingers.
So that'll be 6 points of damage from the sword,
Okay.
and another 4 points of damage from the wreathing flames around it. You take 1 point of shadow.
Wow, that's really unpleasant across the
Yeah,
board.
as this dark energy just sort of sticks to you, almost kind of like napalm would almost, and just keeps sort of hurting you. You do, however, get your hands around the thing. Give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh my god. Really should have thought this
Got
through
this.
a little bit more. Here we go. Let's find out. Ooh, okay.
Oh, very
That's
nice.
Yeah, that's a 19 flat.
All right, so that's pretty good. Now you will take another shadow point. Do you want to use the fellowship ability not to take it? Because that
if it's
saving
cool
throw
with the
saved you from taking
fellowship.
3.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be cool. Or
Yeah.
we could really use it right now.
Okay. so
Not
spend
you,
that point.
only Irving.
You take you don't take shadow from it. However, when you close your hand around it, suddenly you hear this cacophony of noise. You hear dwarven voices screaming both in pain and in anger and in rage and trying to rally friends. You hear the distorted voices of orcs. You hear this bestial roar that's sort of cutting through all this noise. You hear the sound of axes hitting shields and swords hitting armor. You hear sounds of people dying and screaming. All around you, you see these people. You are in the middle of this fight. You are in the middle of this tower. There's snow coming down. It's bitter cold. You see the flag that you saw outside before you came into the tower. You see a flag bearer trying to plant it in the ground, getting swarmed by a couple of orcs who are dragging him down and just ripping him apart. When you look over to the side, you see the captain of the guard, this incredibly impressive looking female dwarf with these long red braids, this beautiful shield with the symbol of the order on it, and this hammer, just fighting this giant werebear type creature that is completely black and it's got wounds everywhere that seem to be leaking dark energy. And this thing just kind of reaches down and bites right into the shoulder of the captain. You hear the metal plates crunch. You feel the pain as she screams out, and then she yells, "Blow it!" And suddenly the ground beneath you starts to shake, and you feel the ground underneath you give out, and you start seeing all these bodies start to tumble down into this hole, including the captain who's tumbling down, including this giant werebear. When you sort of come to your senses again, you are sitting on the ground. You're holding the box. You're sitting on the ground. The leader is kind of looking down at you. The ground around you is shaking. You can see cracks that start to run up along that statue ahead of you of that dwarf, that giant carved dwarven knight. You see cracks start to run through it. This thing is expanding. So that's what's going on right now. As you're sitting there holding this thing, and you can see the little plates are sort of moving and rearranging themselves. And inside, you can see this sort of weird skull, and then this figure of a dark priest that's holding what looks like a sphere or something, but in that sphere there's something dark and horrible that's kind of roiling. You feel the presence of shadow like you've never felt it before, like it's right there in your hands as you're holding this thing, and you can see the tendrils of it just start to wrap around your hands and your arms, and all around you these dwarven warriors are dying. In the distance, far beyond all that, as you start to come back to your senses, you start hearing a chant, and you recognize it as an ancient dwarven war chant. And it's strange because it seems to be echoing through the halls where you are right now. They will now get to go as this thing is spreading. The ones taking shots up there at Daywin, that's an 8, they'll miss. Oh, that's a 19, so that's a 22.
Yep, that'll strike.
You'll take 7 points of damage as an arrow will fly out and find you where you are. Senwolf, the one here, is going to climb up there, and he's going to kind of reach up and try to grab your leg and pull. I got an 8, so it's going to be like a 12, so probably not. So he reaches up and tries to grab you, and you kind of just step back, and he's sort of standing on something he's not holding by his hands, like he was just kind of reaching for you. He's up there. This one is fighting there. This one will continue towards Arianthi. This one will turn back to you. On Irving, the one that you stabbed misses you with a 4. This other one's coming at you also. He'll get an advantage because of his buddy that's fighting you. He'll roll 16. Does that hit, Irving?
You're
I
muted
can't hear.
again.
16 is my AC.
All right. So you'll take 6 points of damage, and because he hit you, he gets to do a follow-up. And that's going to miss, however. So the sword sort of digs into you. Now you got 2 sort of fighting you. Okay, now, Drifa, you are sitting on the ground. Now, because I put you in that situation, I'm not going to say that you're prone. I'm going to say you can still kind of roll and move around, so you're not going to have any penalties on your defense or anything. But the one that was come back is going to try to pin you with the short sword. That was an 18, and then it dropped to a 2. So he misses you. The leader will say, like, "Give me that, you runt," and reach out and try to grab the box from you. So let's do opposed dexterity checks.
I'm muted. Can I use my sleight of hand
Yep, absolutely, sure.
thing? Cool.
Yep.
That's 16.
That's 16. You just beat her. Right? So you managed to kind of take it away from her, and you see like anger just shoots through her face and her eyes, and she becomes just this, and she lets out this huge scream of rage as she rages, and goes full on reckless hate on you. And I think that's it. All right. Next up will be Arianthe's fighting that guy. No, Daywin.
Yay! Okay. I'm gonna make sure I use my deadly archery as well for my next attack, getting advantage. Oh, it's next ranged attack on your current turn, so I can hit twice.
Let's say that again.
It says you give yourself advantage on your next ranged attack roll on the current turn. So I get to attack twice, essentially.
It doesn't give you an extra attack. If you have an extra
Okay.
attack, you get advantage on it.
Okay, if I have an extra. I don't. Oh, shoot.
Where-
I don't know.
Can I jump in real quick? Where are we at in the initiative order? Because I might have
We're
gotten
at
skipped.
11.
I'm not sure where it starts, so I'm not sure where.
It starts at 21.
Oh, okay.
So it was Irving, then
Well, I'm
Rifa,
well
then the
way
Thugs.
away from that.
You're like you're last in line.
No, I'm a cleanup batter.
Yeah, that's right.
You're the janitor.
So if you have a second attack, which you get a level 5, I do believe.
Uh-huh. I was just looking at that.
But then if
So,
you don't move in a turn, then you get a bonus on your second shot.
yeah. So I won't move, and then I'll use that bonus for my next one.
Okay.
I rolled a 17 to hit the crazy sworded.
The boss?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
actually, yeah. No, I'm gonna hit the grunt next to.
Next to Drifa?
Mhm.
Okay. That hits. So go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Oops, I rolled the wrong thing. Let's try that again. 1d8 plus 3, 9, 10.
And
So that's 10 damage.
Nice. Okay. You hit him like in the back as he was trying to hit Drifa. Like, ah! He stumbles and he's got the
Yeah.
arrow sticking out of his back.
Sick.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay where I'm at, but that these piercing eyes are looking at this guy.
All right. Senwolf.
So there's one that tried to grab from me. How precarious is the ledge that he's on? Is it steep or is it pretty flat for him?
Not really. Like if you kicked him and he fell back, he'd hurt himself, but he's not like elevated up in the air or anything like that.
And how far down below me is everybody?
So the first level of ground below you would be like maybe 6 to 8 feet away, and then there's like steps that come down.
Right, but how far
You
down
could
below
jump down without hurting yourself.
is this the group here?
Yeah, you could jump down there without hurting yourself.
Okay. I want to drop my bow in exchange for drawing my axe and leap off of the ledge on top of the box.
All right, go for it. Be heroic.
So am I rolling an attack?
And you want to get on the boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can land there. Go ahead, make your attack.
All right. I'm going to use an inspiration or an advantage from
Okay.
Shady Dave because I need this help.
Yeah, gentle reminder as always, you can get involved in the game
Right.
if you want. Bits. Is that a good hit?
You got
That is
something
a
in the
natural
double digits?
20.
Nice.
That's a natural 20. And I'm just coming down with the axe. So remind me on damage again.
Natural 20, you get max damage for the
Weapon.
dice, and then you roll the dice and add your bonus.
Sweet. So
I just want to say hi to. I missed the raid because I was too absorbed by this No Fan Pod. Thank you so much for popping in and raiding us and coming to see us do this. As I was saying, a reminder that if you want to get involved in the game, you can spend some bits. For 100 bits, you could get an advantage for a player of your choice. Go ahead with your natural 20.
natural 20, thanks to the Raiders who brought the
Woo!
luck.
Nice.
That's 13 points with my axe as I crash down on top of
Oh,
the
she
boss.
looks at you very unhappy. She seems to take about half that damage, though,
Ugh.
because, barbarians raging.
Ah, yes. I know about that.
All right. But that's this really good blow, and you kind of stagger her back and kind of get her away a little bit from Drifa, which is good. So at the end of the round, as all this is happening, the lot of you will see this sort of shadow keeps expanding. At the center of it now, you see a figure moving and rise, and this figure looks kind of strangely translucent, almost as if they're not completely there sort of physically. But what you do see is this.
Oh. Oh. Ugh.
This dark bluish colored werebear creature with pieces of skin missing. You can see bones underneath it. The eyes are glowing this absolutely evil looking green. She is weaving this veil, which is this double bladed elven sword, which probably offends very deeply Daewin. And as she rises from this mist and lets out this roar, I will ask everyone to make a charisma saving throw. Your DC is 15.
Ugh.
If you have any sort of advantage against shadow rolls, you can.
I think I do. I think I have advantage.
I know.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad I did at advantage, because that was a nat one.
Oh.
But not no more.
So if you fail the roll, you get 3 shadow. If you made the roll, you get 1 shadow. You can choose in both cases to spend, if the team agrees, more of those fellowship points to reduce it by 1. As you are seeing in front of you this undead version of this werebear, this total corruption of nature and of everything that you might hold to be pure and dear, as it rises up in front of you. As it does so, you can feel the ground is shaking some more. You can see these cracks running up the wall. Now, all of you, including Driffa, hear the sound of dwarven boots approaching, dwarven warriors and knights screaming, calling out their battle cries. And as you look on, you see coming in, filtering in through every direction of this tomb, this flood of dwarven warriors comes into the room. Like Wenloth, they appear to be somewhat ghostly in their appearance. And as they come rushing in, you feel this sudden clash as they come in and just start fighting with the members of the cult. The leader herself is kind of taken back. Wenloth is just slicing through a bunch of them with her veil. A lot of you are just kind of trying to not get trampled as these two forces sort of converge. And then suddenly, as they do, you hear the voice ring out across the area. You hear, "Blow it!" The ground starts to shake. Beneath you, these cracks appear. And suddenly, the floor beneath you literally gives way as you and everything else up here tumbles down into a deeper hole below the entire tower. And on that note, we will take a break.
Okay.
Everything's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
That's what FINE stands for, right? Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
That's where we are. As you tumble into the darkness below, followed by these ghostly dwarves and this ghostly werebear creature and all these thugs, we'll take a short break and we will see what happens once you land. See who lives, see who dies. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Sorry I wasn't watching the chat, but it was super involved with the fight and everything else. So Thanks for the raiders. Thanks for everyone hanging out with us. We'll take a short break. I didn't give Andy even any heads up on the fact that we were going on break, so he's probably sweating bullets right now. He's sweating aggressively. Thinking, man, I wish Bleak would tell me what's
Sean
going
Connery.
on. Yes, Andy, we're going to take a small break now, if you don't mind. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, everybody. All right, we will be back in a few short minutes. Don't go. Thank you very much. I was just reading the comments in chat, and Anand's saying that playing Baldur's Gate is teaching him something, and I'm just thinking that hopefully it's not about having erotic encounters with bears, because this bear is just bad news.
That's so weird.
This bear is just bad news.
This bear's off limits.
You don't want any part of this particular bear. All right.
Some places in New York.
Exactly. You some bears are fine, others not so fine. You just before the break, you had gotten into this huge fracas with members of the Headless Cross. They were digging up the bones of this ancient undead werebear named Wenloth Elf Eater. You interrupted that. They didn't take kindly to it. You started the fight. Irving was just slaying things left, right, and center from the shadows, like the little death that he is. And Drifa managed to get her hands on the Twilight Keep itself, the item that the leader had around their belt. However, as Wenloth, or the solar spirit or ghost of Wenloth, whatever it is, sort of appeared, releasing all this dark shadow energy into the room, you all took a big hit of shadow, and just before the floor gave way beneath you, this stampede of dwarven knights, ghostly dwarven knights, came into the room, and it sort of reenacted what happened back then, but the floor really gave way and you fell. And if you will turn your attention to Owlbear, you'll see that you fall the equivalent of about 2 floors down into an area below that looks like at some point was probably another sort of level, but in time has been eaten away by lava and by time, and is just like this little stone bridge now that's left around here. So I'm not going to be cruel enough to say that you fall into lava. Do you see a number of the thugs from the Headless Cross fall into the lava? Some of the ghosts fall, but the ghosts kind of swim out of it. Not a problem. As a map from Animated Dungeon Maps, excellent work as always. Let us see where you land. So start by giving me, each of you, a d20, and we will see where you land, and then we will take care of seeing how many bones you break.
I'm going to use the virtual roller.
Uh-oh.
Easier.
All right. So let's go for
Okay.
it. Ty and Aaron. Let's go for it. Erica, what did you get?
9.
Beth?
I'm rolling.
Rolling.
Rolling
Okay.
on.
19.
Ty
15.
and Aaron.
Should have used advantage. Dang it.
You're muted, Aaron.
There you go again. I got a nat 20.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay.
You are
so
more athletic right now than the elf.
so that was just to see where you land. That was just a
Okay.
straight up D20 roll. While I position your characters on the map, go ahead and give me your choice of athletics or acrobatics. If you don't have that, you can give me dex saving throw. You can also argue for something else if you want, but make me a roll like that to see how much damage you take. All right. So for that roll, your DC is 15.
Oh,
Oh no.
I will roll damage. If you didn't make the roll, take the full damage. If you made the roll, take half the damage.
I'm afraid of either, quite frankly.
Hmm?
I'm afraid of either situation.
right?
So full damage is 13 points.
Okay.
13
Round down?
divided by
Yeah, it's that round
2
down.
is 6.
So as you fall, straight through the air. You land really hard. Some of you manage to kind of tumble and roll or find ways to break your fall a little bit. And this is kind of your situation as you fall down. There are a number of, as I was saying, other people who have fallen down around you, some thugs. But also all around you are these ghostly dwarven warriors who immediately sort of move in and start fighting these things. Some of them have fallen in the lava and they're just swimming back to the shore, while some of the Headless Cross guys are burning in the lava. It hurts. Get the back, team.
Get the hater.
So
Yellow.
you've fallen down, you hit the ground, you know, sort of try to shake it off, stand up a little bit. What do? We'll start over at the top with Drifa. You pull yourself up, you realize that you are in fact still holding the keep. It is really not comfortable or fun holding it. I will tell you right now that you will continue to accumulate shadow the longer you hold on to it. So up to you to decide what you want to do with it. I'll give you this round, but starting next turn, you're going to start having to make saving throws against shadow all the time, because this is a very powerful artifact of shadow, and holding in your hands, you can feel it just sort of seeping into you.
Is it possible if I throw it into my backpack or my pack, like once I release it from my hands and I like...
No,
throw
having
into
it on
my
your
socks?
person is going to do that effect, unfortunately. In
Okay.
fact,
Into the fire.
being within 10 feet of it will have that effect. So
then I actually I just drop it. Especially because when I land, I almost don't get up. It hurts a lot. I think I broke something. So it takes me a second. I pull myself up, noticing this thing is still in my hands and the way that the shadow is dragging at me. So I drop it
okay.
right there in the spot.
And what do you want to do from that point on? You want to take a moment?
Yes, I do. I take the opportunity to get my ground and bearing.
Okay, excellent. I will tell you that if you take some time to sort of, you can roll a d6 and get that back in health points as you're just trying to kind of catch your breath. And Aaron's really taking a break under here.
Would be great.
Okay. Next up will be Irving.
Okay.
So you sort of see behind you. You see
So, 5 points.
Aaron seems to be having some difficulty with the connection. So Aaron, your image is frozen and your voice is coming. I don't know if you can hear me. It's coming in kind of broken. So you may need to restart. Give it a second. If it doesn't fix up, maybe restart it, and Andy will deal with it. Restart the Zoom, I would guess, probably, unless it's your entire computer. So Irving, you see Drifa behind you kind of drop something to the ground and then just kind of step away from it and start trying to take a breath. What would you like to do?
Does it look like over by Drifa does that look like an exit, or would it be the other side of things?
You're not too sure. So there's one sort of behind where Drifa is, and there looks like there's possibly some exits down in this area.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, you know what? I'm going to run over by Drifa, and because I'm just a little guy, I can get through spaces without taking opportunity attacks. So I think I can get through those guys. Would that be accurate, or is that too tight?
No, you can move pretty much however you want. Are you having trouble with the
Okay.
Owlbear, Erica?
Yes. I don't know what it is. It just showing it was a question mark. I've closed out, logged out, back in, refreshed. I don't know.
You don't know. I'll send you another.
Okay.
I'll send you another invite and use that maybe, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Must have had a solar flare. It's getting us all.
It's getting us all.
It's really weird, actually. There's something going on with it because I don't. It's like I don't own it anymore. I don't have the GM controls anymore.
Oh.
It's very strange.
It.
I am going to exit it and restart it.
It's not a proper stream without tech issues.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Please.
These
We
are
didn't
killer
just break-
maps, though.
We didn't just break the floor. We broke the.
Maps are amazing, though.
Everything.
We are, however,
Um,
going to continue anyway. So you managed to slip through. Running. The heat in here is intense. Like this lava that's boiling under you is just. It's not cooking you, but it's really, really hot in here. You're sweating like Nicolas Cage or Sean Connery, just sweating bullets.
So I get up next to Drifa and I'll say, "You're okay," and I'm taking off my cloak, presumably because it's hot. But then I'll cover the tower with it and try to scoop it up without touching it.
Okay. Okay. You
Is that
you can definitely feel it.
That?
You can definitely feel it. We'll see what happens next round.
Okay.
You feel this dark, shadowy power
Oh,
in your
balls.
hands.
Okay.
Is everybody back on the map? We're good.
I don't think I ever left.
As
Yeah, I
good as we
restarted.
can be.
I think it is. Sunwolf.
Yes, I'm
Sorry, go on.
I'm going to weave my way in the direction of Drifa as well, bringing forth my healer's kit, and I kick that guy out of the way. And drawing my healer's kit, I'm going to see what I can do about helping recover some if it is injuries, if I may.
Please, please.
You may make a medicine check.
And
While
with-
you're bandaging me, I gotta ask: did the elf get any more of them, or am I still in the lead? Did Daywin get ahead? Do you know?
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure where that score is held. But hold still just a moment. Does the healer's kit give me anything besides the ability to heal?
No.
Okay, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Wow. How about 13?
Hey, that is great. I'll take it.
Well, that's my roll.
Oh, I mean, I'll take 13 though. I'm just saying.
What did you get? Sorry.
13.
13. Yeah. I'll give you a D4.
Right. D4 income. Hey, you know what? Why not? That is very appropriate.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And 2 points. There you go. Daywin,
Yes.
you pick yourself up. You're surrounded by all this fighting. You see, like, through a hole in the wall, you see Sunwolf kind of dart and go off into the easterly direction.
If I shoot a shot at him,
At
let's
Sunwolf,
see.
I'll let
Or
you aim
not
for it.
Sunwolf. I was gonna try and. Well, actually, never mind. I'm pretty far, so
Just
I'm.
tell me what you want to do. Yeah.
I'm like trying to like figure out where I am on this thing, and then
You are here. Yeah.
basically I want to try and come over here, but I think I've got to go this way first.
Yeah.
So for now, I think that's about as far as I can go. I'm just gonna slowly make my way downtown.
Well, actually, I'm going to say, so here's what happens, right?
'Kay.
You start bobbing and weaving. He's doing first aid back there, so it's going to take a while as they're tending to Drifa. Another round will go by. Irving, go ahead and roll a charisma saving throw against Shadow.
That's a 16.
All right, so you take 1 point of shadow as you realize this thing is
Okay.
just seeping shadow into you as you hold it.
Yikes.
Daywin, all right, so this is what's going to happen. Daywin, you kind of bob and weave. The dwarves are doing short work of these headless cross thugs just because the thugs are hitting him and nothing's happening, and the dwarves are just sort of smoking. They're singing this song, this dwarven working song as they're doing it, and it's kind of echoing through the walls. And for you, Drifite kind of bolsters you a little bit. You'll start when you get to about here, Daywin, you'll see something moving behind them, and you will notice that coming up behind.
Oh no.
Oh.
We're
Robot.
losing you again.
I didn't know that there were robots in Middle Earth.
Well,
Metal Earth.
There are now.
Middle Earth.
Good one.
you will see coming up behind Irving, who's now holding the item, is the leader.
Oh dear, she's gonna have trouble.
So as you're rounding the corner there, when you see that, do you want to do or say anything?
Is she attempting to attack?
She looks like she's gonna go after Irving. Yep.
I want to shoot her hand with my bow.
Okay, so you draw. Irving, you see Daywin drawing towards you with her bow and arrow.
I just
And-
kind of just give a little wink.
She lets fly, and the arrow goes just over you, and you hear it thunk on something, and you hear someone screaming behind you. And you kind of turn and look over your shoulder, and you see that the leader is there. As Daywin, as you're running towards the area, as you come here, you feel something behind you as Wenloth climbs up from underneath this bridge. And the lot of you watch as Wenloth rises up behind Daywin, and as Daywin is readying a second shot on the boss behind, on the leader behind Irving, Wenloth just bites down, and its whole mouth and head engulf the shoulder and neck of Daywin as it bites down completely into her chest. You see blood erupt from where the bite is. As that's happening, as Wenloth just bites into Daywin like this, behind you, Irving, you look, and the leader grabs the box and starts to pull it, and you're kind of fighting her for it. And as you do, you feel the box start to shake. There is suddenly this blinding and just this powerful blast of energy that rolls out of this. You hear the voices, the screaming voices of 1,000 souls in pain as this box opens up and twists itself in this weird configuration. You hear one voice, one dark, angry, shadowy voice say something in a language that you don't understand, but that just offends your ears and just offends your very being. This language itself, just upon hearing it, just sets you on edge, and you feel again the shadows kind of close, almost as if there's a vignette, that's kind of closing in sort of around you. In a moment, all of that stops. There's kind of this suspended moment in time. You look around you, Irving. You're sitting on the ground, picking yourself up. Your ears are ringing, your head is ringing. You are holding the box still in your hands. The leader is no longer there. The box feels oddly light, not inert. There's still energy in it, but it feels like a different kind of energy. You don't feel as much shadow or darkness kind of emanating from it. It's as if a lot of the shadow that was in the box is sort of slowly evaporating out as you're holding this. Most, or if not all, of the Headless Cross goons lie dead on the ground. The spirits of the dwarves are gone. you hear their song still reverberating for a little while through the cave. Eventually, it also fades as just a distant echo from an age past. It's very quiet suddenly. And that's when you realize that Wenloth is gone. And so is Daywin.
Irving is just still sitting there on the ground, hugging the box tightly with his eyes scrunched tight.
Did you say the captain is gone as well?
Yep. I realize some time must have passed between these last few moments as you're sort of picking yourself up from the ground and trying to get your bearings. You see Arianthe and Elantir kind of come running towards you.
Did either of you see where Daywin went?
No, I thought you might have seen him. You didn't. They didn't run off. She didn't run off, did she?
The last I saw, she got bit hard by the beast as it climbed up from behind here at the edge. And I peer down into the lava.
See anything?
Very doubtful that anything alive that fell into that lava would have survived.
No, surely there's something going on here. That box. What's up with that box?
You're still holding
I
it.
don't know.
It feels different now, as I was saying.
Elantir, explain to us what happened here.
I don't know. All of this is way beyond anything that I know or experienced before. He sits down. He's like, I have no clue what any of that was. Arianthe says, I'm. Can I see the box? You still have the box. Can I see it?
Okay.
She takes it and puts it on the ground. You shouldn't be holding this. She puts it on the ground, and she sits next to it, and she does a few movements and whispers elven words under her breath, and you can see that the box glows slightly for a little bit. She goes, a lot of the shadow that was in this artifact is gone. Some remains. There's something else in there. There's another force of some kind in the box.
What does that mean?
I don't know what happened just before. Well, before all this, who had the box? You did, Irving?
I did. We have to find Daywin. I think before we do anything else, we have to find her.
Sunwolf, as you look at you know, there's no way if she fell down in if she fell down there, there's just no way. So that's not. If she's down there, she's gone.
I don't think that she fell because that's where the wolf came from. And also the cult captain is gone. I think they have gone somewhere together. But where? I don't even know which way we should go here.
Well, this way leads up. There's some stairs that lead up to the next floor, I guess. If you're certain, Senwolf, that there's no way Daywin could have survived falling down, then she's not in this room. Well,
I don't think that she is down there, no. I don't think that she fell even.
I don't think that staying here is a good idea. We should probably, and you're feeling like the heat is, and it's getting hard to breathe down in here, and it's just not a good scene.
Yeah, to clear
They're not here, then we might as well.
You gather up your things. Senwolf by the grace of your ancestors, you see your bow on the ledge nearby, and with someone's help and with perhaps a weapon, you can kind of pick it up and find it and get your hands around it again.
Hey.
As you turn to leave, you hear a strange sound as if something moving, trying to move silently, making just kind of a little scuff sound, and you see a bit of a shadow from beyond the door where you're heading.
I'll draw an aim. In the door, there's something ahead.
As you look over in the door, you see, coming into the light very hesitantly, almost as if it's afraid, a head pokes around, and then the rest of the body, and you see a silver and black fox that very tentatively steps out. Onto the little bridge where you are, looks at you almost fearfully, but not quite, as if instinctively it knows that you're not enemies.
You pick up a vibe?
I'll loosen my draw and kneel and reach out toward the animal.
It'll advance slowly towards you, sort of sniffing you out. As it approaches, you see that there's something metal around one of its legs, one of its forepaws.
Irving, give me some of the honey bun.
Okay. He'll hand you some.
I'll try to coax the fox closer and get a better look at what is on its leg.
As you approach it, the first thing that strikes you is that its eyes are very much Daywin's eyes. That same clear blue sharpness in them. And as it approaches and starts licking at the honey bun, you see that the metal band that's around its arm looks like it was perhaps in the shape of a fox at some point, but it looks burnt and tarnished now, as if it's been ravaged or destroyed in some ways. It's kind of mangled, and it's really kind of just half hanging there, and it's kind of moving up and down on the arm as the fox moves, and it looks like it's been almost burnt or sort of destroyed somehow.
Is the fox wounded?
Doesn't appear to be. Fox very contentedly sort of sidles up to you and eats a little bit of the bun.
I try to carefully pet its head. There's some reason to think this might have something to do with Daywin. Look at its eyes.
Arianthi says, was your friend a shapeshifter?
He's an
I
elf?
think so.
Not as far as I've known.
Has she never mentioned anything? Was she fond of foxes? Was there...
I don't remember.
Is there anything that I remember that would stand out in that regard?
You would certainly have, I think, seen on her arm a bracelet that was in the form of a fox bounding and was made of mithril. It was very beautiful and very well taken care of. And she might have mentioned she'd gotten it from her family or something like that. But I would let Erica actually talk about it. What would you have said about it, if anything, or would you have avoided it? Or
okay, I wasn't muted. It wouldn't be something she would have avoided or like hidden. So anytime she would move, it would kind of come at a glance. Anytime she would move her arm and her clothes would move. She'd tell people about it if they asked. That was family heirloom, what it was made of. But yeah, nothing.
I think
too
Tarifa would
detailed.
have noticed that.
I was
at
gonna
some
say,
point.
yeah, especially if since it's mithril, I would have spotted it and been like, "What's an elf doing with mithril?" and then ask questions. And so, putting the pieces together, Drifa says, "I think it is Daywin." And I look one more time, and I kind of look at the damaged arm piece, and then I look in the fox's eyes. This doesn't mean that the bet's off, though.
You do see a spark of recognition in the eyes. Rewinding time here a little bit, day when you felt the bite of Wenloth go into your chest, you felt her pleasure at tasting elven flesh again, drinking that blood, and just the full pleasure of it. But it didn't last very long, and you saw for a moment, as this was completely ripping into you and biting into your heart, you saw behind Irving, next to where the leader was standing, you saw very briefly a shade that seemed to emanate from the box that Irving was holding, that looked like a crooked old man with a cloak and with a staff with a curled, strange sort of hand curled around the staff of it. And that image slowly, or very quickly rather, disappeared. You only saw it for a brief moment. Soon after that, day when you woke up, you were walking along with another group of elves. You were heading towards a ship that was on the water. You boarded the ship with them. The ship sailed off into the water, and you understood that you were heading back to the world where you came from, the world after where the elves eventually retire. Only as, after a long voyage, land appeared into view, you heard one of the other elves say in an elvish language that it took you a little bit of time to kind of grasp, because it was a little different and a little stranger than what you were used to. You heard him utter the word, Mythgard. And you realized that he's talking about Midgard or Middle Earth. You're not heading towards, you're coming towards this land, and it made no sense. And that was the last thing that you sort of saw. You currently find yourself staring into the eyes of Drifa, and it's as if in a dream. You can see her there, but it's as if she's removed from you. There's a veil of fog or something, and your own thoughts are not making much sense, and you kind of feel like you're not in your body anymore. Like you're trying to move, but things aren't happening. And you see Senwolf offering you some food, and you don't have any control sort of over your body and what's going on. Coming back to the rest of you, as Arianthi will examine the bracelet and look at the fox, she'll say, there is a myth among my people. A very long time ago in Valinor, there was a race of elves that was blessed with the ability to transform into foxes. They were known as the Vulpe. There are very few in numbers, because as opposed to the rest of my brethren, they were not immortal. They led much shorter lives. In time, some of the ancient smiths of the elves, drawing on a strange metal that someone had brought back from across the sea, were able to forge bracelets, I guess, similar to these that drew out the ability from these elves to change their nature to become foxes, but in doing so, they gained the ability to become immortal. But it's just a myth. A story that we read in books.
Yet there this one stands.
I find it difficult to believe that she would have been one without knowing or without. It's possible, I guess, that the energy of Wenloth, who was a shapeshifter, the release of the soul of Thazan from the box, and she takes the box and she looks at it for a moment, and she looks at you, and she will extend the box over to Drifa and go, I think there's a part of your friend that is now prisoner of this box where Thazan used to be.
Is it a curse?
That's a good question.
I'm afraid I don't really know enough about any of this. There's someone you could talk to. Any of you familiar with the area around Evendim Lake? And that would definitely ring a bell for you, Senwolf, as that is where Anuminos is. The ruins of Anuminos, the city of the First Kings, is. There is, on the far side of the lake, in the Evendim Hills, there's a strange village called Eskardale. It's very well hidden, very difficult to find. I found it once by accident. There's a man who lives there. His name is Ulfrith. He had spent most of his life doing research on the Bjorn men and the shapeshifters. If anyone might know anything about the situation, it would be this Ulfrith. But finding Eskardale is very difficult.
Is that in the North Downs?
That is. So if we look at the map, so you are here where the sword is, near Fornost and Norvost. She's saying that the village is somewhere over here in this area.
West of
Here are the
Fornost.
ruins of Anuminos. It's Lake Evendim. And over here somewhere, she says, in the hills of Evendim, would be this village of Eskardale. If anyone might know anything about this, Ulfrith is as good a shot as you have it. As with anybody
there-
else of finding.
Is there any chance that Sunwolf knows anything about that?
You know that there is a village. I will definitely say this. You know there's a village called Eskardale in the Hills. You know that there was a time when the Rangers dealt with the people there, but the people there are very strange. They're very closed. They're not very welcoming. They dealt very reluctantly. They are not first men. They are normal humans. They're not, your people. And in time, even that tenuous of relationship fell apart. And the Rangers of the North won't really deal with them anymore, and they don't really deal with anyone. They really kind of keep to themselves. And there are stories about a possible curse on that village, but no one really knows anything about it. However, you do know that there are, in that area, there are two rangers of the north, a woman named Aaron and a man named Baron. I want to say I'll double check the names. Aaron and Banyan, you know that they live kind of in that area a bit further south, and they've sort of taken that area as their ward. So they live in together in a small home somewhere out there, and they know the area better than anybody else. If you could find your way to them, they would probably be able to get you to Eskerdale.
What's the man's name?
Banyan, Beinion, and the woman is Aaron, not Aaron. Aaron. I'll give you a write-up on them later.
While all of this is happening, Irving would take out his, just like a piece of his mess kit and his water skin, and pour some water out and just sort of lay it tentatively in front of the fox and just say, "Drink, friend."
As you're doing that, you're seeing more recognition in the eyes of the fox. And now the fog is starting to lift a little bit, and you're recognizing that you know these people. You don't really put names to them yet, but you recognize them as friends. You know that they're yours, and you realize you have a bit more control over this body that you're in now. You realize that your sense of smell is very acute. Your sense of hearing is very acute. Your sense of sight is also now very acute. You're aware of the rats scuttling around. You're thinking, they might make a good snack, but you hold off because you got honey cakes. You have control of the fox, Erica.
She'll drink. Grateful for the water and an extension of friendship. She'll accept. And she'll just lick her lips from that honey.
Zenwolf reflects.
Sorry, go ahead.
Zenwolf reflects for a moment and says, "We came this far to get the dark box. Now we have it, and now we need answers for what happened to Daywin. What of this box? What else is there to do with it? It seems that they're connected now."
Apparently. So, we'll just, and I pat the box with my other hands, we'll just keep it with us, and that's, what's his name again? Over there in that village, well, he'll help us sort this all out, and Wolfrith?
Ulfrith,
yes.
If we can
sure he'll
find,
help us.
I know some rangers there in the area. If we can find them first, I think perhaps they can give us more information and perhaps some aid. So I recommend we start there.
Arianthe says, "I would love to come and help you. However, if Thazan's no longer in this box, I have a sinking feeling that he may have found his way into the body of the leader who was here earlier. I'll have to track her down." And she looks at Elantir, "And you're coming with me. You're not out of this mess yet. I'll have to continue hunting him down. That is the oath that I owe to my lord. However, if you wish to go west and try to help your friend, I absolutely understand this, and will continue to give you what guidance and help I may along the way."
It's a hard decision because we came to here to help you with what you were trying to do, and now I feel we have completed half of that, and we're now split with.
Technically, you've done what I asked you to do. You've helped me found Elantir. That was what I required originally. On top of that, you've found the Twilight Keep, but you should keep it. If your friend now, or a portion of your friend, is trapped in there, you will need this. I don't think it has any more bearing on what's happening with Thazan. I will hunt down the leader and see if there's anything else to understand from the situation there. Perhaps, hey Rob, thanks for the resub. Perhaps someday soon we can all meet at the Prancing Pony for an ale and swap stories.
If you return to Norvost, please tell Telendale what we have decided to do.
I will track down the leader and see where they went and follow them, but if it takes me through Norvost, I will absolutely speak to them, and she will take off her bag and will hand it over to Irving. I have some supplies in there. I can resupply easily in Norvost. They may help you along your way. You
Thank you.
are all extremely brave, and I am devastated for what's happened to your friend, but I trust that you will be able to find her and bring her back. And so with that, you will make your way out of the ruins of Cadaradok. You will help Arianthe pick up on the trail, and you will see that the trail leads due east. So Arianthe will set off with Elantir after some more goodbyes, heading east, hoping to bring an end to this sordid story with the Headless Cross. And you are left standing in the ruins with this artifact, this Twilight Keep, and this silver fox who seems to be changing a little bit with time. I will say this. Because it's late, because you're tired and wounded, you will take some time to make camp and bandage your wounds and get some rest in. The fox will stay with you. In the morning, when you wake up, first of all, you will all have gotten a long rest. When you wake up, you will find Daywin lying on the cot where the fox laid down at night. Daywin, when you eventually wake up, the last thing you remember is being attacked by Wenloth on the bridge.
Okay. So
Wrap your mind around that.
mind wrapped around.
With the sun coming up at dawn, you find Daywin where the fox laid down the night before. So before you start your roleplay, before you start your roleplay, just get some things out of the way. With the full rest, you will heal up all your hit points. I will let you also heal up 1d4 shadow points.
I'll roll publicly just to continue to embarrass myself.
Well, you have three fellowship points left. All right, so you can take those 3 to eliminate 3 shadow points wherever you want. So roll first and then see, and then you will refresh your fellowship points after the long rest.
Excellent.
We'll start by rolling a d4 each, and then whoever needs more can take some of these points to wipe away after more shadow points.
I only have 1 shadow point left, so I think I'm okay.
Same.
Well, that's the hobbits for you.
Yeah, my shadow points are gone now.
I'm back down to 3.
Maybe you should probably take some.
Maybe you should
fellowship
just take at
points.
least 1.
Just take a few, and we'll sleep it off and get some more.
Do we get them all back when we rest?
No. Oh, the fellowship points, yes.
Oh, then I could wipe out all my shadow points if I took all 3.
I think you probably should.
In the morning, you will have your 6 points back.
All right.
As you wake up with the coming of the dawn, you will find Daywin.
That's what I get for doing my name and my character's name so similar.
On Daywin. Lying on the mat where the fox lay down the night before.
As a ranger of the north, Senwolf sleeps generally least, tries to rise first. And so I'll be standing over Daywin. And when your eyes open, I'll say, it seems that the stories are true, that the suspicions that Ariante had are accurate. You are a shapeshifter.
Daywin's disoriented, like, so when she wakes up, she kind of takes this like deep breath, almost like she has come up from being like underwater and deprived of air, and she just kind of like looks around in an absolute panic, looking at herself. Where did he go? Where did he go? There was blood everywhere.
You're all
We
right.
we were by lava.
There are things that happen that I can't explain to you, but it seems that there is something in your heritage that has to do with shape-shifting in this box. This artifact that we recovered, the Twilight Keep. I can't explain it, but maybe Irving and Drifa remember.
How will you say something about shape-shifting?
Ariante said something about this legend. I didn't quite follow it. It's not something that I'd heard before. That there is a rare people that have this ability, and, well, you were gone, and when you returned, we think you were a fox, a silver fox. Let me go wake up Irving.
David's gonna look at her bracelet. Is there
It's
anything?
all
Is
mangled.
it all mangled?
It looks like it's been in a furnace. It's all kind of melted and twisted and mangled and kind of barely hanging on to you now. It feels different than it used to. It used to feel, like it was important, like to us, but now it feels inert.
What the hell?
I'll nudge Irving and Drifa, and my friend is back.
Oh. Hi, Daywin.
Hi.
Daywin.
Apparently I've been gone. I thought I was
You
dead.
were with us. You were with us the whole time. And what you should know, I think, first is that everything's okay. We're okay. You're okay. We accomplished what we needed to, and just it was a
Okay.
little strange, though. Senwolf is right. You had disappeared after being bitten, and
And now you're
and we
back.
found a fox.
Yeah, that was unpleasant. A fox?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. You didn't really seem to know us at first, but I think you did by the time we camped down. But you're back.
Yay. And not dead, apparently. Well, I have no reason not to trust you, but does anyone know what happened to this? And she points to her bracelet that is like decimated. This was a very special family heirloom, and it's practically a nut.
It was like that when you returned.
As a fox.
That's right.
Okay.
To clarify a little bit about what Irving said, you were gone for a few moments.
Hours, days?
It seems there was some time shift that we could not account for. So
That's-
I am not sure.
Right. Well, I'm gonna need to look into this.
We have a plan.
Oh, we have a plan.
There is a hidden village that Ariante recommended to us that I've heard of a fellow named
Ulfrith.
Ulfrith. Yes, Ulfrith. And I know rangers nearby in the area, so I plan to lead us there to see what they can tell us, to help perhaps put us in touch with Ulfrith and get some answers, because we still also have the vessel, this Twilight Keep.
We got it. Okay.
Who has it?
I am like holding it. And don't worry, I'm keeping it safe and close.
Anyone has a strong urge to paw at it.
Apparently this has a part of you, I guess. Is there any noticeable change to the box, by the way? Does it seem the same as yesterday? I kind of look at the box and back to Damon.
Part of me is in the box.
Maybe.
Do you feel anything there? Is there a draw to you?
Should I roll insight on myself?
No, it's fine. You now feel towards the box like you used to feel towards your bracelet.
She kind of gets a little bit closer to it. Okay, this is going to sound very strange, so bear with me. Although what you've said to me is strange, so we'll bear with each other. So when I called my bracelet a nerd, it's kind of had like a strong tie to it, like something stronger than sentimental. That feeling is gone in this, but now I feel it towards that. May I hold it?
Sure.
Thank you. When I hold it, is there any change?
No, but you feel you feel like it's right. You feel like it belongs to you. You feel like
it's
you
her
didn't
precious.
realize that something of you was missing until you now get it back.
So she's gonna take the box and just kind of like, do you mind if I hold on to it?
Yes. Though I believe it will also be important for your fox problem, so be careful with it, I guess.
I'll be careful with it. And she'll put it in her little like pack that she's got with her. Safekeeping, but still as close to her as she could possibly get it.
Irving will hand a little honey cake over to you. Breakfast?
Ooh. And she looks so excited. Oh, I've been craving one of these. And she just gobbles it up.
When she eats it, you see mannerism that remind you of the fox, the way she licks the honey off her lip and the way she smells it before taking a bite.
So good, thank you. It was really hit the spot.
You are welcome. Okay.
I need some water, though. I think mine is empty. Well, you know what? I no longer have it. Does anyone have any water?
Yes, I.
Yes,
I
thank
do
you.
Here. You can.
Thank you. She just takes a big old drink of it. Thank you. Right. So we have a plan. We know where we need to go. I guess I'll follow your lead.
Yes.
We should refill our water too, Trifa.
Yes. Yes, I'll do so.
Did I get any kills while I was out, or is it still 0-1?
It's still 0-1. You can ask Senwolf. He didn't see any kills.
All right.
I hate to bring in another factor to your competition, but I do recall that there were a number of dwarves that had a number of kills that seemed to have something to do with you, Drifa. I don't know if there's a percentage there in your favor.
Well, it'll certainly have to come into play at final calculations. That's for
No.
sure.
No,
As
it
you-
won't. It was
They-
not
they
technically
were-
by your
They were
specific
my
hand and
people,
your
though,
weapon.
but they were my people.
I wink at Irving
As-
and then I start sort of meandering in the direction that we're
and
gonna
we're
go.
just sitting there, just like bickering.
As you, sorry,
As Irving is like packing up his pack, he'll look to Senwolf and just say, I mean, I got 2, but you got it."
Oh, okay.
as you are getting ready to leave, you, Drifa, will hear echoing from nearby that chant that the dwarves were singing last night. The others don't seem to hear it, but you hear it. It seems to be coming towards you from a little alcove. There's like a bit of the tower there, and there was probably like a window or something, and when it fell down, it kind of all piled up on top of it, but there's like, you hear the voice kind of echoing from sort of around that area.
Yeah, I'll sort of discreetly just kind of, I'm gonna peek over here and go check that out.
When you approach, you come around a half fallen down wall, and on the other side of it, you see a dwarf on one knee holding up the banner of the knight unit. As opposed to the banner you saw earlier, this one is pristine, clean, fresh, flapping in the wind. As you come around the corner, the dwarf will look up and see you. Go, ah, relief, finally. I was getting tired. Here. And he'll extend the herald and the flag sort of towards you.
I reach out and grasp it.
As you grab it, the dwarf smiles at you, and then he's suddenly gone. There is, where he was on the ground, this basically this flag of this dwarven unit that just and sort of hits the ground and lies there. And instead of a flagpole, you're holding the handle of an axe that looks very old, very ancient, but still in very awesome fighting shape. The blade is pure mithril, and it's got ancient dwarven runes engraved along the haft of it. And when you grasp it, you hear momentarily the echo of this song again in the air, and it settles on you like a mantle of warmth and honor and duty.
Very nice. Very nice. I hold the axe and just sit with that feeling for a moment and sort of mutter some words of appreciation for the ancestors and in an oath to cause a doom. And then I slide it into a side slot here on the side of my hip and then rush up to my allies.
I will send you the stats for this axe. It's called Thorazil, which means igneous prospect. Amongst the things that it can do, you can, once per long rest, call upon it to hear this song, and when you do, it will basically render you immune to shadow for that round.
Heck yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
So,
Cannot
all
help
prepared and ready to go?
but notice, Drifa, you did not have that before. What is the story there?
Oh, this one.
That's
This old thing.
mithril.
A gift from the ancestors. You did say they were all here. Well, they didn't just leave behind a tally in my favor. They also left behind this. And I hold it for everyone to see.
And as she does, the
Wow.
blade just ignites in red, and it looks as if there is fire trapped inside the mithril of the blade, and it sheds this beautiful amber light around her that warms all of you as you stand near it.
Never have I seen such an animal.
And there's actually a little bit of a welling of tears in Drifa's eyes. She's holding up it silently though.
Daywin will come up with her long sleeve and just kind of like dab to your eye. The wolf's crying. This is a new one. Well, you weeping.
It's a very bright blade. Did you see the way it lit up the space here?
Yes. Very bright. Very, very bright.
Truly a masterpiece after all.
That
Before we
is
leave,
true.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I would like to make a proclamation on behalf of you both.
Oh.
The ability to wield such a weapon in honor of your ancestors, which is part of pride on my part as well, because this is also the land of my ancestors, and the fact they helped with your tally is offset, I think, a bit by the fact that Daywin can turn into a fox. I am impressed by that as well. Let us call it even today and start fresh from here.
The ranger
Okay.
makes a good point.
That is a very good point. And Daywin will pull out this piece of paper that's just been like in her pocket, and she'll just scratch out and put 2 zeros. All right. The tally starts clear.
And as we turn, I'll lean towards Irving and say, "You're still ahead."
I know.
So much.
Is there anything else you want to do or say, or in a moment you want to have with somebody else or something before you set off on your journey towards Eskerdale?
I think I'm good.
Okay, so we will take care of the journey on the next game. We will end here in a moment here tonight, as it's a good point to stop, even though we're not quite at 11 yet. It's close enough. I will say this, something you will discover along your journey is that as soon as the sun goes down, Daywin becomes a fox again.
I knew it.
Do I get a voice as the fox eventually, or I'm kind of don't technically have a voice?
You don't technically have a voice, but let's talk about how we're going to handle it this week.
Because I have an idea.
Perfect. So you can tell me your idea. We'll find a way to handle it. For the travel, it's not going to be much of a deal because we'll do the travel like we did last time, like with the system. But for once you're in the city and all that, or once you reach the area where you're going, it'll be good to have something like. So we'll talk about it this weekend. So to sort that out. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, so let's do that then. Let us thank you so much for the sub. We're super appreciate it. Thank you very much, Canadian Ancient Gamer. And thank you, Jay Largazumba, for the raid. I missed you again. Little Bones. What's up, Little Bones? How you doing? I'm going to talk about Little Bones in a second here. Thank you so much for the raid. We are done here for tonight. Do hang around. We will give the players a chance to introduce themselves. Hey, darling, thanks for dropping in, also for resubscribing. We appreciate you. We're going to raid some friends of ours here in a minute. But first, I would like to give my players a chance to tell us a bit about themselves, what they got going on, when you can find them. And we'll start with Ty.
Well, thank you very much. I am Dungeon Mr. Ty on the internet, also half of Adventure Sling Productions, and I have been playing Senwolf, the Ranger of the North, and erstwhile guide here, there, and everywhere. We are hard at work on New Varden. We are pulling it together behind the scenes, a little bit quieter right now as we actually do the hard grinding work of putting this thing together page by page, table by table, but it is on its way. We are also heading to a Big Bad Con at the end of September, so looking forward to seeing folks there. And we just dropped our most recent podcast with Jonathan Wright, who is the creator of Mecha vs. Kaiju, friend of ours also that we met recently on the con circuit. So check that out if you are so inclined. And go to adventuresling.com for all the stuff and whatever I forgot. I think somebody else might follow behind me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you for playing. Super appreciate you. Good luck with with all that good action. Aaron, what's up?
Hi, yes, it's me, Aaron Baumier, the other half of Adventure Sling Productions, and yeah, you pretty much got it all. That was pretty comprehensive. Yeah, so go to adventuresling.com if it sounds interesting. Check it out. We got some podcasts, got some VODs of Neo Varden. If you're interested in seeing how that game is, how it plays, what's it about. I think it's pretty cool personally, but that's because I have been working on it diligently for the last couple of years. So, but anyway, yeah, you can check it out there. You can also find me at Serendipity Do out there in most of the socials, or follow Adventure Slang as well to see how that goes for us.
I'm sure it'll go splendidly. We're all pulling. It's a beautiful game. It's a wonderful game. So please do check it out and give them a little boost. You know, it's always worth supporting people who are not only doing indie stuff, but doing awesome indie stuff also. So thank you so much. Good luck. Erica, who is now Fox.
That was amazing. Speaking
Erica
of
did not
indie-
know, by the way, just so the rest of you the players know.
Yeah, I had no idea. He's like, so do you want to know beforehand? I was like, nah, I want to find out. So that was great. I love it. I love foxes. They're beautiful. Anyway, speaking of indie creators and other things, I am the creator of a TTRPG channel called Roll D5, ROLE. And that is actually what we do. So we try to showcase everything out there that is not 5e to show people, hey, here are some other games you might be interested in. Here's some stuff from creators that we know or ones that we don't know. So we're mostly just a gaggle of one-shots, playtesting all these things and showing people that there's a lot of other games out there and is a ton of fun. We are currently on hiatus for the month of August. We are taking a well-deserved break because we're only a year and a half old, and boy, have we grown exponentially. It's insane. So we're taking a well-deserved break. But in the meantime, feel free to check out like our social media and other things to catch up on some YouTube videos because I just upload the VODs straight there. Not only am I in this, but following, I think, next month, I'll be in another long-term campaign. So keep an eye out on my social medias for that. I post pretty much everywhere on all the social medias I can, but lately Twitter's not letting me really post, so it's hit or miss with that one.
Good or bad.
X.
Thanks so much, Erica, and good luck with this new long-term campaign you're having. And glad you enjoyed the Fox. I just want to point out how awesome it is because where the two you and Aaron are on the screen, your hair kind of complements.
I noticed that too. And I was, yes. Very well done.
The two halves. It's perfect. It's perfect. We're gonna have to situate you like that again next game.
Love it.
Beth, it's your turn, Beth. Tell us what's up, you bloodthirsty hobbit, you, and I think you're frozen.
Well,
Look at
that's
that,
a
it's
good way to
perfect.
be frozen because you're
Time
smiling.
to take a print screen.
I think it's adorable. Oh,
All right. Oh, I'm back. No.
oh no.
Oh, you're back.
I'm alive.
Ah,
God,
I'm
guys.
Aaron now.
Who am I?
Log
I want
on,
to be the
people.
fox. I want to be the fox.
You were, however, frozen in a wonderful position. I got screenshots, so don't worry, you'll get to see all of them.
Damn it. Every time.
It's really
Oh my
cute.
gosh.
It is your turn, Beth.
Oh boy. I'm Beth. Hi. Sometimes my internet works. You can find me all over the internet at Beth Masco. I'll be here continuing to play Irving Burroughs, the mighty Hobbit messenger.
Message
And then tomorrow is the first game of a new arc of Lanata Turna. It's run by Kevran Games. We've got a lot of great players. It's like a grim, dark setting. It's going to be cool. I think there are going to be vampires. And then on Wednesdays, you can catch me on Wanderer's Haven playing in Miko, the OKSGM's Ystera games. We're 3 games into a 5-episode arc right now, and it's super fun, so you can check that out. But I am having a lot of fun with this. This game is a blast, and it's just it's really fun. You guys are awesome.
Thanks so much,
Bye.
Beth. Little Hobbit of Death. Thank you very much for being here. Yes, do check out the games. These are all awesome games. Karen and Miko, both excellent GMs and good friend of ours. As for me, I'm the Bleakseason. You can find me in all the usual spots as Bleakseason or the Bleakseason. And you can find me tomorrow on my own channel, twitch.tv/the Bleakseason, doing the first of a 4-part Vampire the Masquerade game with some amazing people: Darling Creepshow, Little Bones, Myriad, and Mornian. We're going to do a little 4-parter, 2 episodes set in 1381 France, and then 2 episode sets in 1929 Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Great role players. It's going to be a great game. Next Tuesday, back here with Heroes of Greyhawk, Dr. Dave's ongoing Greyhawk series. And we got 2 more episodes of the Twilight Keep left. We also have coming up shortly, I think it doesn't start this weekend, but the one after, a 2-parter Saturday afternoons run by our friend Shiv, D&D 5e game that's going to run on Saturday afternoons. So you can check out our socials, our schedule down there for all that information. I want to give a big shout out to Andy, Andy G3D, for the production here. Thank you, Andy, for your help and all your hard work with all this. Thank you to the Raiders. Thank you to everyone who hung out. Stay with us. Thank you to my amazing players. We'll see you next week right here, same place, same time, for the continuation of Twilight Keep. We are going to raid some good friends of ours, Lost Caravan RPG. We'll catch you next week. Give him some love when we get there. Ciao.